What's up, guys? We're out here on Erie. The main lake is absolutely ripping. I don't know if you can see that. We got some storms about to roll in. We decided we'd get out here for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour session. Me and Antonio fishing the 419. Figure we get out here real quick, see if we can get on some. You got a pre-front coming in. The conditions are set up really good. We're gonna fish these docks and this whole area here. And we're gonna see if we can get on a couple. Probably gonna isolate it down to about 4 or 5 baits. I'll talk about those at the end of the video. We're gonna see what happens. Let's go. So like you got this metal piling right here. On the wrong side of that piling. Did he wrap me around it? No. Where is he? Where is he? Oh no! On the Stanko. Where's he at? Where's he at?
Up with a good one. Decent fish. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not bad at all. I will take it, sir. I will take it. Go ahead, hop up front if you want to. Toss my worm.
On the jump.
No, you ain't hooking me, bruh. I ain't taking that hook to the hand. So we got one right there. 1 and 1.
Nice.
Good deal, good deal. Got the pliers out. All right, so there's one right there off the little metal structure right here on the edge. Figured there might be one on some of that hard structure right there, and lo and behold, there was.
Probably a 3-pounder.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Oh, balls of bait right here, dude. Big balls of bait. Big balls of bait. I can see them on the graph. Look at, there's fish feeding right here, dude. Big balls of bait. I haven't seen this fish yet. Jeez. Now we're bringing the bait with the current, see if it changes anything. It's a big ledge right here in front of us, man. It drops off real hard right here. It's where they're feeding at. I might grab this crankbait. See if I can get one on the cranker real quick, because that's a ball of bait fish. So what I'm seeing on the graph right now, these are wads of bait, and these are probably bass. They're hanging out around them, corralling them against this ledge. Try to. Got 2 crankbaits out. I got a square bill and I got a little bit deeper diver. All right, one of these back up. There's one. Oh yeah. shouldn't boat flip with a crankbait, but I'm going to. There's one. I'm gonna spot lock real quick. One of the baits that I'm going to use when I'm trying to cover water is a chatterbait, and it's post spawn. So in this video you see I'm throwing a it's actually called B Heights D-Light. This guy right here. It's a Z-Man jackhammer, chartreuse bottom, green pumpkin back. Looks a lot like a brim, some sort of sunfish, a craw trailer, chartreuse claws. Green pumpkin is the base for the trailer. Black blade, or all through this black and blue. This is the only other color I'll throw when I'm trying to imitate some sort of sunfish, bluegill, brim, whatever it may be. But they spawn after the bass. So a lot of times these fish are going to spawn and then hang around a little bit, both because of bait fish and because of the bluegill coming up to spawn. The shad spawns not too far after that as well. So they're coming up there to feed up on these bluegill. The bluegill kind of terrorized them for the spawn, trying to get their eggs, and now they kind of return the favor. So this setup here, it's a 7.2-to-1 Soleus XCS. This is an LFG version, big sexy favorite rod, 7'2", medium heavy. I throw this on 17 to 20 pound fluorocarbon. Typically throwing this into vertical vegetation stalks, hydrilla, some milfoil. I'll throw it into sparse mats, sparse pads, and trying to pop it and rip it out of that stuff usually generates a reaction bite. 3/8 to ½ ounce. This is my cover water bait. If I think they're eating bluegill, if I think they're chasing sunfish, if I think the bluegill are spawning, this is my bait that I'm gonna throw 95% of the time to cover water. The crankbait I'm using in this video that I'm catching fish on is a Mark Daniels MR6. I believe this is threadfin shad color. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite crankbaits. It's got a good action. It's not a huge bait. Dives between 7 to 9 feet, so it covers a pretty solid depth range where the fish that are coming off the spawn, if they're in that 4 to 5 foot range, I can still throw this. If they're in that 7 to 10 foot range, I can still throw this. And if they're suspended, you know, in that 7 to 9 or 10 foot range, and they're over, say, 15 foot of water, I can still throw this and reach those fish. It's a really good bait. This is kind of the budget cranking setup I have here in one of these videos. It's a 7'4", medium heavy moderate favorite whitebird. It's a really narrow blank, has a ton of bend, ton of flex. Basic Abu Garcia 5.5 to 1. This is one of their inexpensive winches. It's a max winch with a handle and a bearing upgrade. Nothing crazy. 12 pound fluorocarbon. That's what I'm gonna throw this on. A lot of guys throw crankbaits on mono. I think it's kind of a trade-off. You either run a stiffer rod and run mono that'll stretch, or you run a rod that gives and you run fluorocarbon that doesn't stretch as much. So that's my choice there, covering water on the crankbait.
Yeah, it is. On that Mark Daniels crank, boy, look at that, it's got a fat little belly. Fat little belly, half a tail. Half a freaking tail. Think this fish has been spawning? Good follower. What's that? man, that feels good. Yeah, it feels a lot better, I'll tell you that. Well, this is a good fish. Huh?
You got us locked down?
Yeah. Long spawned out fish. Said something just jumped out from there?
Huh?
Did you say something jumped out from there? Oh. Hey, another boat in here. Another good fish. Beat up tail, healing from the spawn.
All right, guys. So we're all done. Rain just kicked up. Storms just kicked up. It does look like it might break through there. But we are going to go ahead and call it a day. We caught a decent amount of fish.
Yeah, caught a good amount of fish for not really fishing.
Right.
This morning.
2 hours. We caught, you know, probably, what, 14 to 16 pounds-ish for our best 5.
That'd be definitely fair to say.
So, did pretty well. It was a good time. Got out here in the water for a couple hours after work. Just decided to check out an area that, you know, we've driven and launched out of, but never really fished it. So, decided to get up here real quick, fish it before the storm came in, and see what we can put together. Hope you guys learned something, possibly. Looking at bait on a graph, trying to identify fish, and then keying in on baits when you see it. So, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We've got some more videos coming your way. And as always, tight lines.